San Diego is often called the most haunted city in California, hiding dark stories beneath its sunny beaches and busy streets. Built on old graveyards, battlefields, and historic settlements, the city carries centuries of tragedy and mystery. From haunted hotels and ghost ships to cursed roads and forgotten cemeteries, restless spirits are said to roam after dark, making San Diego a place where history never truly sleeps. Now we will visit the most haunted places in San Diego. Number 1. Whaley House. The Whaley House in Old Town San Diego is often described as the most haunted place in the city and one of the most frightening historic homes in America. Built in 1857 by Thomas Whaley, the house stands on land that once held the city's gallows. Before the Whaley family moved in, a man known as Yankee Jim Robinson was executed on this very spot. Many believe his spirit never left, and heavy footsteps, dragging sounds, and sudden cold chills are still felt near the staircase where he was once seen. The Whaley family themselves are said to haunt the home. Thomas Whaley's ghost has been seen walking through the rooms, appearing calm but watchful. His wife Anna is often sensed as a gentle presence, while their daughter Violet, who died by suicide inside the house, is believed to be one of the most active spirits. Visitors often hear soft crying, feel a deep sadness, or sense a cold hand brushing past them in the bedroom where Violet once stayed. Another terrifying story involves phantom music. At night, visitors report hearing the sound of a violin playing even though no one is there. This is believed to be the spirit of the Whaley's son, who used to play music in the home. Doors open on their own, lights flicker, and furniture has been known to move without explanation. Many guests feel they are being watched and leave with an overwhelming sense of fear. The Whaley House remains a place where tragic history and restless spirits continue to live together. Number 2. Hotel del Coronado. The Hotel del Coronado, often called the Del, is one of the most haunted places in San Diego and among the most famous haunted hotels in America. Built in 1888, this beautiful seaside hotel hides a dark and tragic past beneath its grand appearance. Over the years, countless guests and staff members have reported terrifying paranormal experiences. The most famous ghost is Kate Morgan, a young woman who checked into the hotel in 1892 and was later found dead on the staircase. Her death was officially ruled a suicide, but many believe she was murdered. Since then, Kate's spirit is said to roam the hotel. Guests report flickering lights, cold air, and strange whispers, especially near room 3327 and in nearby hallways. Many visitors have claimed their belongings removed while they were away, only to find items returned later. Some guests say televisions turn on by themselves, doors open and close, and footsteps echo in empty corridors late at night. Staff members often feel a sudden chill or sense someone standing behind them when no one is there. Another haunting involves children's laughter heard in quiet hallways, believed to be spirits from the hotel's long history. Shadow figures have been seen near the beach and inside the ballroom after midnight. Some guests wake up feeling watched, with an overwhelming sense of fear. Despite its beauty, the Hotel del Coronado remains a place where tragedy lingers. Many believe the spirits of the past still walk its halls, refusing to leave this legendary hotel by the sea. Number 3. Horton Grand Hotel. The Horton Grand Hotel is often described as one of the most haunted places in San Diego, famous for its terrifying ghost stories and strong paranormal activity. Built in the 1880s, the hotel has a long history filled with tragedy, violence, and mystery. Many guests and staff believe the spirits of the past still walk its halls. The most haunted room is room 309, where a man named Roger Whittaker is believed to have died from a gunshot wound. Some say it was an accident, while others believe it was suicide. His ghost is said to remain trapped inside the room. Guests staying there report beds moving on their own, doors slamming shut, and lights turning on and off without explanation. People often hear heavy footsteps in the hallway late at night, even when no one is there. Cold spots suddenly appear, and some guests feel an unseen presence watching them while they sleep. Several visitors claim to have heard a man's voice whispering or felt a sudden push, forcing them to leave the room in fear. Staff members have also reported seeing shadow figures near the staircase and feeling hands grab their arms. Objects sometimes fall or slide across tables by themselves. Some guests wake up to find their luggage unpacked or moved. Many visitors leave the Horton Grand Hotel shaken, saying the experience felt too real to explain. With its dark history and restless spirit, the hotel remains a chilling reminder that some guests never truly check out. Number 4. Cosmopolitan Hotel. The Cosmopolitan Hotel in Old Town San Diego is often described as one of the most haunted places in the city, known for its chilling and terrifying ghost stories. Built in 1827, the hotel sits on land filled with deep history, pain, and unfinished lives. Many visitors believe the spirits of the past still wander its halls. The most famous ghost is Isidora Bondini, a young woman who lived in the building during the 1800s. She suffered from deep sadness and was often kept away from the outside world. After her death, strange events began to occur. Guests staying in room 11 report lights flickering, doors opening by themselves, and the feeling of being watched. Some visitors feel sudden cold air or smell a sweet floral scent believed to belong to Isidora. People have reported hearing footsteps in empty hallways and soft whispers late at night. Objects move on their own, and beds sometimes shake gently, as if someone invisible is sitting down. Staff members say glasses fall without reason, and chairs slide across the floor when no one is nearby. Another terrifying story involves a ghost child seen running through the hallways before suddenly disappearing. Some guests hear quiet crying or laughter in the middle of the night. Shadow figures have also been spotted near the staircases. Many visitors wake up feeling drained or uneasy, unable to sleep peacefully. Despite its charming look, the Cosmopolitan Hotel hides a dark past. It remains a place where lost souls refuse to leave, making it one of San Diego's most frightening haunted locations. Number 5. USS Midway Museum. The USS Midway Museum is often described as one of the most haunted places in San Diego, filled with terrifying stories from its long and violent past. Launched in 1945, this massive aircraft carrier served in wars and dangerous missions for decades. Thousands of sailors lived, worked, and in some cases died aboard the ship, and many believe some spirits never left. Museum staff and visitors often report hearing footsteps echoing through empty corridors, even when the ship is quiet. Doors slam shut on their own, and voices are sometimes heard calling out names. Some visitors feel sudden cold spots in certain areas, especially in the engine rooms and sleeping quarters. One of the most frightening stories comes from the lower decks, where sailors report seeing shadow figures moving quickly and then disappearing. Others have seen a man in old Navy uniform standing silently before fading into the walls. In the sick bay, equipment is said to turn on by itself, and whispers are heard late at night. Another terrifying legend involves the flight deck. Security guards have reported seeing strange lights and hearing loud banging sounds, as if planes were landing, even though the deck was empty. Some visitors say they feel watched or touched by unseen hands while walking through narrow passageways. Many people leave the USS Midway feeling uneasy and shaken. With its dark history and powerful energy, the ship is believed to still carry the souls of sailors who never returned home, making it one of San Diego's most haunted locations. Number 6. El Campo Santo Cemetery. El Campo Santo Cemetery in Old Town San Diego is often described as one of the most haunted and disturbing places in the city. Established in 1849, this small cemetery holds the graves of early settlers, soldiers, and criminals. Over time, the land was badly disturbed when shops, roads, and buildings were built over the graves, leaving many spirits restless and angry. Visitors often report sudden cold spots, even on warm days. Some people feel dizzy or uneasy the moment they step inside. One of the most terrifying stories involves shadow figures seen moving between the old headstones at night. These dark shapes disappear when approached, leaving behind a heavy feeling of fear. Many visitors claim to hear whispers and soft crying after sunset. Others report hearing footsteps following them, only to turn around and find no one there. Some people say they have seen full apparitions, including a woman in old-fashioned clothing standing silently near broken graves. Another chilling story comes from people who take photos in the cemetery. Strange faces, glowing eyes, and shadowy figures often appear in pictures that were not visible at the time. Children are said to be especially sensitive here, sometimes pointing at empty spaces and claiming someone is watching them. Because many graves were moved or destroyed, Locals believe the spirits cannot rest. El Campo Santo Cemetery is a place where the dead were forgotten, and many believe that is why the spirits still wander. Even during the day, the cemetery feels heavy, making it one of San Diego's most terrifying haunted locations. Number 7. Villa Montezuma Museum. The Villa Montezuma Museum in San Diego is often described as one of the most haunted places in the city, filled with dark energy and terrifying ghost stories. Built in 1887, this beautiful Victorian mansion once belonged to Jesse Shepherd, a famous musician and spiritualist. He claimed to communicate with spirits, and many believe his experiments opened a doorway that was never closed. Visitors and staff often report hearing ghostly piano music drifting through the house, even though no one is playing. The sound is soft and sad, echoing through empty rooms late at night. Some believe it is the spirit of Jesse Shepherd still performing for unseen guests. Many people have seen shadow figures moving along the walls and standing silently in doorways. These figures vanish the moment someone tries to approach them. Sudden cold spots appear without warning, especially on the upper floors, making visitors feel weak or dizzy. Another terrifying story involves whispers and voices calling people by name. Tour guides have reported feeling someone brush past them or tug at their clothing. Lights flicker on and off, and doors slowly open by themselves. Some visitors say they feel a heavy sadness inside the mansion, as if the house is watching them. Others experience headaches or fear for no clear reason. Even during the day, the Villa Montezuma feels uneasy and alive. Many believe the spirits trapped inside the mansion refuse to leave. With its dark past and strange activity, Villa Montezuma remains one of San Diego's most chilling and haunted locations. Number 8. Old Point Loma Lighthouse. The Old Point Loma Lighthouse in San Diego is often described as one of the most haunted places in the city, standing quietly above the ocean with a dark and chilling past. Built in 1855, the lighthouse was meant to guide ships safely, but its location proved dangerous. Fog often hid the light, leading to shipwrecks and tragedy. Many believe the sorrow from these events still lingers. The most famous ghost is believed to be the lighthouse keeper, who never wanted to leave his post. Visitors often hear heavy footsteps climbing the stairs even when the lighthouse is empty. Doors creak open by themselves and sudden cold air fills the rooms without warning. Some people report seeing a shadowy figure standing near the windows, staring out toward the sea. When approached, the figure disappears into thin air. Others hear whispers and soft breathing close to their ears, especially during foggy weather. Another terrifying story involves the sound of a bell ringing late at night, even though the bell is no longer in use. Security guards have also reported lights turning on by themselves and the feeling of being watched while patrolling the grounds. Many visitors feel uneasy the moment they step inside, experiencing dizziness or fear for no clear reason. As the sun sets and the fog rolls in, the lighthouse becomes even more unsettling. The Old Point Loma Lighthouse remains a haunting reminder of lost sailors and a lonely keeper who may still be guiding ships from beyond the grave. Number 10. Presidio Park. Presidio Park in San Diego is often described as one of the most haunted places in the city, filled with terrifying stories linked to its long and tragic history. This hilltop park sits on the site of San Diego's first Spanish settlement and early mission grounds. Over the centuries, many soldiers, settlers, and native people suffered, died, and were buried here, leaving behind restless spirits. Visitors often report seeing shadow figures moving between the trees at dusk. These figures vanish when approached, leaving behind an intense feeling of fear. Some people claim to hear whispers carried by the wind, even when the park is silent. Others hear footsteps following them on empty paths late at night. One of the most chilling stories involves a ghostly soldier seen near the old ruins. Witnesses describe a dark figure in historic clothing standing still, watching, before fading into the shadows. Near the Junipero Serra Museum area, people report cold spots and sudden dizziness, as if the air itself is heavy with sadness. Another frightening tale comes from nighttime visitors who hear crying sounds, believed to belong to women or children from the early settlement days. Park rangers and security guards have also reported feeling unseen hands touching their shoulders or sensing someone standing right behind them. Many visitors say Presidio Park feels calm during the day, but deeply unsettling after sunset. The silence becomes heavy, and fear settles in without warning. With its buried past and unfinished suffering, Presidio Park remains a place where history refuses to rest, making it one of San Diego's most haunted locations. Number 11. Star of India Ship. The Star of India ship in San Diego is often described as one of the most haunted places in the city, carrying spirits from its long and dangerous past. Launched in 1863, this historic sailing ship traveled the world, carrying passengers and cargo through storms, battles, and perilous journeys. Many sailors who died on board are believed to have never left, leaving their restless spirits trapped on the ship. Visitors and crew often report strange footsteps echoing through the empty decks, even when no one is aboard. Doors open and close by themselves, and objects sometimes move without explanation. Some witnesses have seen shadowy figures of sailors walking along the railings or disappearing into the corners of the ship. Another terrifying story involves voices calling names in the middle of the night. Crew members have heard whispers coming from below deck, as if the sailors from the past are still giving orders or warning of danger. Some guests report sudden cold drafts and feeling an unseen presence brushing past them while exploring the cabins. The engine room is another area with strong paranormal activity. People hear banging and clanging sounds, even though no one is there, and some claim to have seen lights flicker without reason. On the flight deck, shadows move across the floor, sometimes appearing to follow visitors before vanishing suddenly. Despite being a museum today, the Star of India still carries the memories and spirits of those who lived and died on board. Many visitors leave feeling uneasy, convinced that the ship is alive with ghosts, making it one of San Diego's most haunted and terrifying locations. Number 12. Elfin Forest. Elfin Forest in San Diego is often described as one of the most haunted places in the city, known for its dense woods, hidden trails, and dark legends. Located in North County, this natural area is beautiful by day, but becomes eerie and unsettling at night. Locals and hikers have reported many paranormal experiences over the years, making it a hotspot for ghost stories and mysterious sightings. One of the most famous legends involves the White Witch, a spirit said to wander the forest after sunset. She is described as a pale woman in flowing white clothes who appears suddenly on trails, only to vanish moments later. Many hikers have reported seeing her from a distance and feeling an overwhelming sense of dread when she appears. Visitors often hear unexplained whispers, footsteps following them on empty trails, and the rustling of leaves when no wind is blowing. Some report feeling touched by unseen hands or being nudged, causing them to stumble or drop their belongings. Others experience sudden cold spots or chills that seem to follow them along the paths. Another terrifying story involves glowing orbs seen floating among the trees. Some people believe these are lost spirits trying to guide the living or warn them to leave the forest. Shadow figures have also been spotted darting between the trees, disappearing when approached. Even during the day, Elfin Forest feels heavy and strange to some visitors. At night, it becomes almost impossible to ignore the sense of being watched. With its mysterious energy and haunted legends, Elfin Forest remains one of San Diego's most terrifying and haunted locations. Number 13. Davis-Horton House. The Davis-Horton House in San Diego is often described as one of the most haunted places in the city, known for its terrifying paranormal activity. Built in 1850, it is the oldest house in Old Town and now serves as the Gaslamp Museum. Over the years, many visitors and staff have reported strange experiences, making it a hotspot for ghost stories. One of the most famous spirits is believed to be Isidora Bondini, who lived in the house long ago. Guests have reported seeing shadow figures moving silently along the hallways. Some claim to hear whispers calling their names or soft crying late at night. These unexplained sounds often occur in the upstairs rooms where the family once lived. People also report cold spots appearing suddenly, even on warm days. Doors have been known to open and close on their own, and lights sometimes flicker without reason. Some visitors feel invisible hands brushing against them or tugging at their clothes. Another chilling story involves footsteps echoing in empty rooms. Many staff members say they have felt an unseen presence watching them, or seen furniture move slightly as if someone invisible is adjusting it. Occasionally, the sound of faint music is heard, believed to be from a piano that once stood in the house. Visitors often leave feeling uneasy, describing a heavy, watching energy that follows them through the museum. The Davis-Horton House remains a place where history, tragedy, and restless spirits meet, making it one of San Diego's most haunted and terrifying locations. Number 14. Balboa Park. Balboa Park in San Diego is often described as one of the most haunted places in the city, with a history full of mysterious and terrifying stories. Built in 1915 for the Panama, California Exposition, the park is home to museums, gardens, theaters, and historic buildings. Over the years, countless visitors, workers, and night guards have reported strange paranormal activity. One of the most famous haunted areas is the Casa de Balboa, where shadowy figures are often seen roaming empty hallways after hours. Staff members report hearing footsteps, doors creaking, and whispers when no one else is present. Some have even felt invisible hands brushing past them while working late at night. The Old Globe Theater is also known for ghostly activity. Visitors and staff claim to hear phantom applause, laughter, and stage noises, as if performances from the past continue after everyone has left. Shadowy figures have been spotted moving across the stage or disappearing into backstage walls. Many visitors report cold spots, dizziness, or sudden feelings of fear in the gardens and courtyards, even during the daytime. Security guards and late-night visitors have also reported seeing mysterious lights and hearing disembodied voices calling out names. Another chilling story comes from the San Diego Museum of Art, where paintings are said to watch visitors, and some claim to see figures appearing in the reflections of glass cases. With its long history, old buildings, and tragic stories, Balboa Park feels alive with energy from the past. Many believe the spirits of those who lived, worked, or performed there still roam the park, making it one of San Diego's most haunted and unsettling locations. Number 15. Spreckels Theater. The Spreckels Theater in San Diego is often described as one of the most haunted places in the city, filled with mysterious and terrifying stories. Built in 1912 by John the 500 Spreckels, this historic theater has hosted countless performances over the years. However, behind the bright lights and glamorous shows, the building hides a dark and restless past. One of the most famous spirits is believed to be a former stage manager who died tragically in the theater. Visitors and staff have reported seeing a shadowy figure walking silently across the stage or standing in the wings. When approached, the figure disappears without a trace. The theater is known for strange sounds that have no clear source. People often hear footsteps echoing in empty corridors, doors opening and closing by themselves, and whispers coming from backstage areas. Some performers claim to hear faint laughter or applause when no audience is present, as if ghosts are reliving past performances. Cold spots frequently appear throughout the building, especially near the stage and dressing rooms. Some visitors feel an unseen presence brushing past them or tugging lightly at their clothing. Equipment and props have been reported to move on their own, and lights sometimes flicker without explanation. Many guests and staff leave the theater feeling uneasy, describing an overwhelming sense that the building is alive with energy from the past. With its long history, tragic events, and restless spirits, the Spreckels Theater remains one of San Diego's most haunted and terrifying locations, where the past never truly leaves. Number 16. Fort Rosecrans National Cemetery. Fort Rosecrans National Cemetery in San Diego is often described as one of the most haunted places in the city, resting quietly on the hills of Point Loma, with a deeply tragic past. Established in the late 1800s, the cemetery is the final resting place for thousands of soldiers, sailors, and veterans from different wars. Many believe that some spirits remain tied to this land, unable to move on. Visitors often report an uneasy silence, even during the day. At night, people claim to hear soft whispers and distant voices, as if soldiers are speaking to one another. Some witnesses describe seeing shadowy figures in military uniforms walking between the rows of white headstones before slowly fading away. One terrifying story comes from visitors who hear boots marching in perfect rhythm, even though no one is there. Others report cold gusts of air that seem to follow them, causing sudden chills. Some visitors say they feel an unseen hand resting on their shoulder, only to turn around and find nothing. Security guards have reported strange lights moving across the cemetery after dark, along with the feeling of being watched. Cameras have captured unexplained shadows and misty shapes near graves. Some people have also reported hearing a faint bugle call late at night, long after the cemetery is closed. Despite its peaceful appearance, Fort Rosecrans carries heavy emotional energy. Many believe the spirits of fallen soldiers still stand watch over the land they once served, making this cemetery one of San Diego's most haunting and emotionally powerful locations. Number 17. Mission San Diego de Alcala. Mission San Diego de Alcala is often described as one of the most haunted places in San Diego, filled with eerie and terrifying stories from its long and painful history. Founded in 1769, it was the first Spanish mission in California. Over the years, the mission witnessed suffering, disease, punishment, and death, leaving behind a heavy spiritual presence that many believe still lingers. Visitors often report shadow figures moving quietly through the corridors and church grounds, especially at dusk. Some people hear soft chanting, footsteps, or whispers when no one else is nearby. These sounds are often reported near the old burial areas and inner courtyards. One chilling story involves the spirit of a mission priest who is said to appear late at night, walking slowly through the chapel before vanishing near the altar. Others have seen a woman dressed in old clothing standing near the walls, staring silently before disappearing. Cold spots appear suddenly inside the church, even on warm days. Candles have been known to flicker wildly without wind, and doors sometimes open or close on their own. Visitors often feel a deep sadness or heaviness in their chest while walking through the grounds. Some people claim to hear crying, believed to be the spirits of native people who suffered during the mission era. Children visiting the site have pointed to empty spaces, saying someone is standing there. Though peaceful during the day, Mission San Diego de Alcala becomes deeply unsettling after dark. Many believe the spirits of the past still wander its grounds, making it one of San Diego's most haunted and emotionally powerful locations. Number 18. Julian Ghost Town. Julian Ghost Town in San Diego County is often described as one of the most haunted places in the region, filled with terrifying stories from its gold rush past. Founded in the 1870s after gold was discovered, Julian quickly became a rough mining town where hard lives, violence, and sudden deaths were common. Many believe the spirits of miners and settlers never left the mountains. Visitors often report seeing ghostly figures carrying lanterns walking through the streets late at night. These figures vanish when approached, leaving behind an icy chill. Some people hear the sound of boots crunching on gravel or pickaxes striking stone, even though the mines have been closed for years. The old hotels and saloons in Julian are especially active. Guests report doors opening on their own, furniture moving, and lights flickering without reason. Some visitors wake up to the feeling of someone sitting on their bed or watching them from the corner of the room. Soft whispers and low laughter often heard after midnight. One terrifying story involves the ghost of a miner who died in a tunnel collapse. People claim to hear faint cries for help coming from the hills, especially during foggy nights. Others have seen shadow figures standing near abandoned buildings, silently staring. Even during the day, Julian feels strange to many visitors. The air feels heavy, and a sense of being watched follows people through the town. With its violent history and unfinished lives, Julian Ghost Town remains one of the most haunted and unsettling places in San Diego County. Number 19. Berkeley Ferry. The Berkeley Ferry at the Maritime Museum of San Diego is often described as one of the most haunted places on the waterfront, filled with chilling and terrifying stories from its long history. Built in 1898, the Berkeley once carried thousands of passengers across San Francisco Bay. After decades of service and accidents at sea, many believe some spirits never left the ship. Museum staff and overnight security guards often report footsteps echoing across the empty decks late at night. These sounds are slow and heavy, as if someone is walking calmly, even when no one else is aboard. Doors have been heard opening and slamming shut on their own, and lights flicker without warning. One of the most frightening stories involves a ghostly man wearing an old-fashioned fedora and coat. Witnesses have seen him standing quietly near the passenger area, staring out toward the water. When approached, the figure suddenly disappears into thin air. Many believe he is a former crew member or frequent passenger who never wanted to leave the ship. Visitors also report sudden cold spots, especially below deck. Some feel an unseen presence brushing past them or standing close behind. Whispers and soft voices have been heard, often calling out names or speaking in low tones. Cameras have captured strange shadows and mist-like shapes moving across hallways. Even during the day, the Berkeley Ferry feels uneasy to many visitors. With its long maritime history and unexplained activity, the ship is believed to still carry restless spirits, making it one of San Diego's most haunted and terrifying museum vessels. Number 20. Robinson Rose House. The Robinson Rose House in San Diego is often described as one of the most haunted historic homes in the city. Built in the mid-1800s, the house is closely connected to Robinson Rose, a successful businessman whose life and death are surrounded by mystery. Many believe his spirit never left the home he once loved. Visitors and staff have reported seeing the ghostly figure of a man wearing dark, old-fashioned clothing. He is often seen standing near doorways or at the top of the staircase, silently watching before disappearing. This spirit is believed to be Robinson Rose himself. One of the most terrifying experiences involves heavy footsteps echoing through empty rooms, especially at night. Doors open and slam shut without warning, and objects such as chairs and small items are found moved from their original places. Cold spots suddenly appear, making the air feel thick and uncomfortable. People inside the house often feel an intense sense of being watched. Some report an unseen force brushing past them or touching their shoulders. Soft whispers and deep sighs have been heard when no one else is present. Paranormal investigators have captured unexplained voices, knocking sounds, and shadowy figures on camera. Many leave the house feeling drained or shaken, as if something followed them out. With its dark history and powerful presence, the Robinson Rose House remains one of San Diego's most chilling and unforgettable haunted places. Number 21. Junipero Serra Museum. The Junipero Serra Museum in San Diego is often described as one of the most haunted places in the city. Located in Presidio Park, the museum stands on land filled with centuries of history, suffering, and death. Many believe this troubled past has left behind restless spirits that still wander the area. Visitors and staff have reported seeing shadowy figures moving through the hallways, especially after sunset. Some claim to see a robed figure, believed to be the spirit of a Spanish-era priest, silently walking near the exhibits before disappearing into walls. Others have seen lights flicker and objects shift on their own, even when the building is closed. One of the most terrifying stories involves unexplained footsteps echoing on the upper floors late at night. Guards have heard doors creak open, only to find empty rooms. Cold spots suddenly appear, making the air feel heavy and uncomfortable, as if something unseen is standing nearby. Many visitors report feeling intense unease, sadness, or fear while inside the museum. Some experience dizziness or the sensation of being watched. Whispers in unknown languages have been heard, believed to be echoes of the native people who suffered during the mission period. Paranormal investigators have captured strange voices and moving shadows on camera. The Junipero Serra Museum remains a place where history and the supernatural seem deeply connected, making it one of San Diego's most chilling and unforgettable haunted locations. Number 22. Cabrillo National Monument Area. The Cabrillo National Monument Area in San Diego is often described as one of the most haunted locations in the city. Standing high above the ocean at Point Loma, this historic site has witnessed centuries of exploration, military activity, and death. Many believe these tragic events have left behind spirits that still roam the cliffs and old buildings. One of the most chilling stories comes from the nearby old Point Loma Lighthouse. Visitors report seeing a woman in dark clothing, believed to be the ghost of a lighthouse keeper's wife, walking near the tower at night. She is often seen staring out toward the sea before suddenly disappearing. Park rangers and night guards have reported footsteps on the empty paths, even when no one else is around. Some hear whispers carried by the wind, calling their names. Others feel sudden cold chills and an overwhelming sense of fear, especially near the cliffs after sunset. Another terrifying experience involves shadow figures moving between old military bunkers. Flashlights flicker, radios fail, and equipment drains of power without explanation. Some visitors claim to see ghostly soldiers standing silently, as if still guarding the land. Many people leave the Cabrillo National Monument area feeling watched or followed. With its dark history, isolation, and countless paranormal reports, this beautiful yet eerie location continues to be one of San Diego's most haunting and mysterious places.